Hello, I'm Chuck Wooden, and I'm joined by my co-host Monique Melanson-Hunter, and you're watching the Veterans Corner.
Thank you, Chuck. If you haven't seen the Veterans Corner before, we're a show dedicated to our veterans, their families, and those in the community that support our veterans.
Thank you, Monique. This is actually a two-part series. It's with Forever in My Heart Foundation. They've been here in the past. They were here last week. Mara, thank you for being here. Mara Licky is the president and founder of the foundation. And to her right is Roy Martin. He's a U.S. Marine veteran.
Yes, sir.
And a recipient of Gunny. Gunny's over to Roy's right. For those that, I don't know if the cameras can see him. Gunny is one of the Forever in My Heart Foundation dogs. So great to have you back. Great to have you back.
Thank you for having
You know,
us.
the first time you were here back in March, there was so much information. And unfortunately, we had to cut you off. So, you know, this time we were able to give you, a 2 slots, which is great for you.
Yes.
So, welcome back.
Thank you.
Great to see you, Roy. Great to see you.
Thank you.
Now, can you tell the viewers what, when you were in?
A long time ago.
A long time ago.
No, I joined the Marines and went through boot camp in Parris Island in 1962. And after graduating from Parris Island, I found myself in about 3 months going to jungle warfare school, and then went over to Vietnam to be an advisor over in Vietnam.
Yeah.
I can give you some background on
Well,
that?
it's all right. We usually like to ask the veterans, what branch they were in, which
Okay,
I let the viewers know anyways, and just when you were in.
Okay.
Every veteran that we have on this show could do probably 4 segments on what
Exactly.
where they've been,
Yep.
what they experienced.
Yep.
But we just like to let the viewers know and then give you recognition.
Appreciate
So,
it.
on behalf of the Veterans Corner and the viewers, we want to thank you for your service.
And thank you for what you do too. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Once again, welcome. We've got, actually, Mira, for those that didn't see the first segment, can you just give us a recap on who you are, when you started, that kind of stuff?
So we started as a nonprofit in February of 2018, but our trainers that train the service dogs, they've been doing it for almost 30 years. So we have a big resume before the nonprofit started. So what we do is we take dogs from shelters. We assess them and see if they be capable of training for a service dog, and we train them for service dog and donate them to veterans, disabled veterans, at no cost to the veteran. We train for PTSD and any physical mobility issues.
So all these dogs are rescue dogs?
All dogs are rescue dogs.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
Roy, can you tell us a little bit about your experience with the Forever in My Heart Foundation?
Sure. It's all been great, so I can start off with that, not to embarrass her. I had initially, through the VA, was put in contact with the Brand X over in New York. And after spending about a month going through their process, I then found out that it was going to be 2 years before I could get a dog, which didn't really work for me, to say the least, because I needed the help almost immediately. The VA also recommended that I contact Forever in My Heart, which I did. And it's been a great experience for me. I'm sure the place in New York was, and I know it was a huge place, and I'm sure it didn't have the compassion, if you will, and the family approach that Forever My Heart has, that Mara has established and done a great job with it. Everybody from the trainers to the people that work for Mara, she's involved in it 150% every day. I mean, we even took our dogs over to have the vet check them out and inoculate them, and it was at her house. That's where we did it.
Well, we use a mobile vet
Yeah.
to, so we can.
But I mean, it speaks volumes. of
Dedication.
The dedication she has, and anybody that works for her has the same. So, to her, I appreciate that very much, and I feel very fortunate that I got in contact with them versus anybody else. And they're from Connecticut, so
Yeah.
it made a lot of sense to support
Locally.
local if it was all equal kind of thing.
True.
So I got win-win for me.
Well, just to let you, build on what you had said the first time you were here back in March. I think everyone, the viewers, all of us, got the same thing: the compassion and the passion that you have for this. You've obviously done wonders.
Yep.
Since the last year.
Yeah. I mean, a lot has happened, but a lot has happened because of the people that we have on our team. And, obviously we do a lot of work, and if someone is willing to devote the time, they have to be passionate about the animals, about the veterans. And, we only place dogs in Connecticut because we truly want to make sure that it's a success story. And like Roy will tell you, like originally when he first came, we were going to pair him up with another dog. And, the trainer saw that it's really not working out with this dog, so, we switched it up. So we look at a lot of things about chemistry between the veteran and the dog, and, we want to make sure, that whichever dog we place is going to help them and not give them.
It's a great match.
Yeah, it's a great match. And dogs and humans are like, humans, they either have chemistry or they don't, so we spend a lot of time matching and watching them during training. And I mean, Roy said that even coming to the training session was a huge therapy for him.
Yes. Yeah.
Even before he got a dog from us, he would come to, training on Saturday, and he says that made a huge difference for him as well.
It does.
Just being in that atmosphere.
Yeah, and to follow up a little bit, if you don't mind, I've only had Gunny for like 3 months now, but I feel like I've had him for 3 years.
Yeah.
And I kind of maxed out on my PTSD meds a while back. I couldn't take any more than I was taking. So the next step, which is what the VA told me to do, would be to get a dog. And I can tell you that Gunny has done wonders for me, again, with all the support that they have. But the dog's been wonderful for me, and allowed me to go to places like the mall, baseball games, which I've taken him to, golf tournaments that I didn't have any interest in going because I was going through so much stuff.
Crowds.
But yeah, exactly it. And so anyhow, without him, I don't know.
Yeah.
Well,
It's obviously a tremendous, one of the many tremendous success stories.
Yeah,
And you just started
amazing.
off.
Well, I think going into it, none of us realized, I mean, we knew that dogs will help people and make an impact, but especially, because, mobility, obviously the dogs help you out, open doors, turns lights. I mean, that's, everyone knows that. But for the PTSD veterans, none of us realize that impact and the difference that those dogs makes for these people. I mean, what we take for granted, meet friends for coffee, for some of them, it's impossible tasks. And like Roy will tell us, he says, like, I will never drive by myself to Andover, I mean, that will never happen. And now with Gani, he drives independently. I mean, those dogs really give those people life back more than medications and therapy, right?
Exactly it.
It's amazing.
Exactly
It's like your whole life opened up
It
when
did.
you got
It
Gunny.
did, and it still
It's
continues.
amazing.
So-
How excellent.
We've had a lot of segments on PTSD because obviously it's so important.
Yep.
Not only just for the viewers that are veterans, but the first responders.
And family.
For families, Yeah, we had that one show with Dr. Jean. We got to have her back to follow up on PTSD. But it's not just veterans.
No.
I mean, first responders. We
Which
were
is
talking
finally-
earlier, Department of Corrections.
Yes, exactly.
So I mean, the animals have made a tremendous between the dogs and horses. We've had a few shows on with the horses,
right.
and actually, some of our next tapings we're having a double header on healing hoofbeats, which we've had on the show before.
Very good.
I think they're up next on the Veterans Corner. So I mean, these are the kind of things that we like to put out there and get out there. Now, as we found out before, 25 minutes goes by fast, so we're going to move on. Fundraising events planned for this year. There's got to be a bunch.
Well, we've found most of our expenses with fundraising events. So, we have event that we do several times a year, which is pierogi making class. I mean, majority of our board of directors is Polish, so someone came up with an idea, let's do pierogi class.
Yeah.
And it's been very, very successful for us, and people truly love it because we do hands-on. They actually roll the dough, make the pierogis, then we cook them and everybody eats them. So that's been a huge success for us. And if anybody knows anybody that can hook us up with an old ambulance, we're thinking maybe opening a food truck, pierogis for paws. So we're looking for an old ambulance, and the reason why we're looking for ambulance is because it has the electricity on the back, so it's really easy to convert. So just putting out there, if anybody...
Well, you know what? We'll be definitely putting that out there on social media tonight.
That's right.
Yeah, so we have our pierogi class in Colchester at the Polish Club on July 20th. We have 2 sessions, 2 p.m. and 6 p.m. I believe that 2 o'clock, there may be just a few tickets left. It's pretty much sold out, but we still have tickets for the 6 p.m. class. Then we have our biggest event of the year, which is our annual charity gala. This year is at Foxwoods. It's a red carpet event. It's our biggest event of the year. We have live band, sit-down dinner. It's a really, really great live entertainment. So it's a great, great event. This is the 3rd one that we're doing this year. November 2nd, Saturday after Halloween, we're having a Halloween bash, which is a costume party with also live music. We're gonna have food, contests. It's also gonna be in Colchester at the Polish Club, which we wanna thank because they're donating the Polish Club to all of our events.
Yeah.
So, we're really grateful for that. And we may have a Christmas kind of party like we did last year. We don't have the location, but you can follow us on Facebook and we'll post it. And I think that's about all the events that we're having this
Well,
year.
that's a lot. I mean,
That's a lot,
those
yeah.
are big events.
There are big events. Like even the pierogi class, we're gonna have over 200 people there. So it's not like, it's a big event.
Like we were
to put
talking on the first segment, the first show, I think might be 202.
202.
Yeah,
Yes.
That's or more.
We're taking the show on the
crew,
road, Chuck.
The crew. It's definitely something that actually we may look into that. There's obviously without events like this, you couldn't
No, I mean, it costs a
continue
lot
the
of...
mission that you're into.
No, I mean, probably Roy knows how much money it costs us to train one dog. It's really expensive. Between the vet care and food, and and we don't feed the dogs inexpensive food. We really
The best.
Take care of them.
we really take care of
Yes.
them. So it takes a lot of money to train one dog. So any donations or any help, anything $20 we appreciate because it helps us. Obviously we have big plans for the future, which we're gonna need corporate sponsorships to help us. But even every day, veterinary bills or things like that, small donations help us tremendously.
And just to put it out there, we put it out on the first show. We want to let the viewers know this that didn't see the first show, that 100% of the proceeds go to the program. There is not one paid employee in this foundation. They're all volunteers. So I know that's a big issue with some groups, but 100%. And very few organizations can say that.
Yeah, and we've been blessed that we've found people that are willing to devote their time and, and help us, because without them, we wouldn't be able to run it and grow, on the scale that we're truly growing. So, been very, very, blessed to find the right people.
Now, we talked about this year's events. Now, you must have already started for next year.
Yeah, so next year it's going to be a big year for us. We're obviously going to do our pierogi classes, but we have a few big events. We have our first golf tournament at the Foxwood Golf Course.
Okay.
That's going to be on May 26th. So we're going to post this soon and start selling tickets. We're going to have, of course, our charity gala as well in September. But we're also planning on doing Guinness World Record for the largest pierogi. So I think that's going to be a beginning of September, and we want to do a big festival with food trucks, live music, vendors, and we're in a, beginning negotiation stage where the, festival is going to take place. But we definitely, that's the plan for next year, to do the Guinness World Record.
World's largest pierogi.
Yeah, we're
I'm
planning to
sorry,
do
I'm already on that list
Yeah.
of, we have to bring the show there with
Yeah.
the camera, I'm just saying.
So we're planning to do 200 pounds, and we actually been blessed that the submarine Navy base
Down in Groton.
down in Groton opened up their kitchen and their help, and they actually designing and making the pot to cook the pierogi in, and a cage, and we'll probably make it in the kitchen, transport it wherever it's going to be, and have a huge fire pit and cook it right there. So that's the plan.
That sounds
Definitely
like a
have
lot
to
of
see
fun.
that. Remember that everything that you do, get flyers to us, and
Yeah.
we'll make sure that with the Veterans Corner Facebook page, Monique is now part of that. Both of us can administrate that.
Oh, thank
Social
you.
media is big, and we'll
Yes.
be happy to share that on our Facebook.
Every single function that you do, send to us,
I will. Yeah,
and we'll get it on there.
great. Thank you.
So, Mira, how does one apply for a service dog like Roy did? So how would someone go about applying for one? What kind of criteria has to be met?
So we have an application right on our website. So if you go to forevermyheartfoundation.org, right at the top bar, there's application, and if you click on it, it's very easy, to
Yep.
fill out. So we do have few stages. I mean, we do initial over-the-phone interview, we do house visits, we do financial checks, and we do medical checks. But if all of those pieces fall together, we're not looking. I mean, I don't think we make it so difficult. Roy can tell.
No, the phone interview was almost 2 hours.
2 hours, yeah.
But it has to be
Yeah.
to qualify or disqualify somebody, I guess.
Well,
And
it's important. It's important to know if the right person's there.
Well, we want to make sure that, first of all, since our dogs come from shelters, that they have a safe and good, happy lives. So we want to make sure that you're financially stable to support the dog, and also that you have a housing environment that's, good for the dog. And the other part is that we want to make sure that, there's so much time and money that goes into training. These dogs take a year to 18 months to be trained. This is not something that we do 2-3 months and we train the dog and we place it. This is a very long, expensive process to train those dogs. So we want to make sure that, each dogs that we place really makes a medical difference in the life of a veteran. We get applicants that they want, companion dogs. We can help you find the rescue dogs to be a companion, but this is not what we do. That's why you have to release medical records to us, because we want to make sure that if you receive the dog is going to make a difference in your life, that, the medications, therapy, or otherwise, didn't work.
Yeah. You got to make sure it's all legitimate.
It's all legitimate. And, there's a lot of applicants that are classified by VA as disabled, but, we don't feel that the dog is going to make a difference in their life, So not every disability qualifies you to receive a dog from us. We have to see that somehow we can improve your life and make a difference in your life.
It's like any other organization. You need help from the public.
Exactly.
Without the public, no matter what organization it is. You know, that's why the fundraisers are so expensive, so important because of the
What they
organization
generate.
itself is expensive. That's what I was trying to say.
Right, we understood that.
It's yeah, I was having one of my moments.
Sorry. And they need volunteers as well. Volunteers are very important as well
Yeah.
because with the money, you still need people, hands-on
Absolutely, and we
people.
always, I mean, you know, when we get applications for volunteers, you know, you don't necessarily have to physically be somewhere to give us our time. I mean, we even, like, you know, simple things like you can sit at your home and maybe write blogs for us
Yeah.
or do research online. I mean, we have so many, you know, the list never ends of
Fundraisers.
fundraisers. You know, I mean, sometimes we need someone to take the dog to training on Saturday. We're going to be looking with the dogs being at the York prison. We're going to be looking for families to take the dogs for the weekend to socialize them in a, you know, normal environment, restaurants, picnics, and things like that. So, you know, if you don't really think you have the time to devote, I mean, if you're willing, we can match you with the tasks that you can maybe do in the evening at home, not leaving your house.
It doesn't have to be 20 hours a month. It could be 1 hour a month.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Any little bit helps.
Yep.
Exactly.
And you had mentioned New York Prison on the first segment.
Yes.
You know, we let the viewers know, and for those that weren't with us on the first segment, the Connecticut Department of Corrections, the women's prison down in Niantic, you're teaming up with them
Yes.
at York CI,
Yes. So-
correctional institution.
Yes.
So, and you know, how's that going right now? Is it
We actually, you know, we have an orientation scheduled at the end of the month, and I think this is kind of our last step before signing the paperwork.
Yep.
And hopefully, you know, next month we'll be able to start placing dogs.
That's great.
Great.
So that we're very excited
great.
about it because I think it will be great for our dogs. It will be great for the inmates. It's a win-win for everybody.
Just a rough estimate. How many dogs do you think you've placed since you started?
Well, so right now, because we started in February, so as a nonprofit, before nonprofit, I think we placed 16 dogs
Yeah.
with veterans. But as a nonprofit, you know, we placed Gani, we placed another one with a veteran, and we're placing right now 2 more. Because you have to understand that the dogs that are in the program, they actually are, you know, about 1 to 18 months mark of the, you know, training. You know, I mean, Roy received this dog a little bit earlier because he's capable of, you know, keeping the dog at home, taking care of it, and coming to training every Saturday. So in cases like Roy, we can place the dog before he's fully trained, kind of as a foster family, into he actually, you know, passes and, you know, and gets released to him as a service dog.
Well, one thing, once again, I'd just like to, you know, for those that didn't see the first segment, we've got about 2 minutes left. We had touched on whether or not, if you had your own dog, if they are trainable.
Yeah, absolutely. If you have your own dog and you want to train for either a therapy animal or a service animal, I mean, we can make an appointment with our trainers. They will assess the dog and honestly tell you, you know, what if the dog is capable of being trained for service. You know, you just have to remember that, you know, if the dog is a rescue dog, or even if it's not a rescue dog, it doesn't really matter. You know, the dogs we rescue, even that we assess every single one of them, 40% of them never make it to the end. You know, because of environmental issues, I mean, we can't take a chance of placing a dog that basically is not environmental stable.
That's great that you have such strict guidelines.
That's right.
Yeah. So, like I say, if you have your dog, we'll be happy to assess, but, you know, there's always the chance that, you know, that the dog is not going to finish
Yeah.
and graduate.
Well, once again, 25 minutes has gone by
Yeah.
extremely fast. You know, it was great to have you back. It
Thank you
really
for having
was.
us.
And it's not the last time. We'd like to have you back in the future for updates.
She'll see us at the events.
What's that?
Give me just 30 seconds?
Absolutely.
Real quick.
Probably about 15.
15. To the veterans that may have some questions, I'm sure if you email the email part of this whole thing, it'll get to me, and I would be glad to answer any of your questions and help you as much as I can.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, we got about 15 seconds left. 13 seconds, I'm getting in my ear. So with that being said, thank you
Thank you,
once
Roy.
again.
Thank you.
Want to thank the viewers for joining us. I'm Chuck Wooden.
And I'm Monique Melanson Hunter.
Good night, and we'll see you next time on the Veterans Corner.